There are shows with psychics.
And there are shows with doctors.
But there's no show like The Psychic and the Doc.
Your practical paranormal power unleashed.
This show synthesizes the talents of world-class medium Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, psychic explorer,
and street smart spiritualist, behavioral psychologist, Dr. Pat Baccili. All subjects are on the table and no topic is taboo. Inspiration, insight,
action, and fun as Mark Anthony connects callers with loved ones in spirit,
in tandem with Dr. Pat's fresh, no-nonsense, street smart, intuitive insights. And she is hilarious.
Extraordinary problems
require extraordinary solutions, which may come from this side
or the other side. This is The Psychic
and the Doc, and it starts now. Everyone to the Transformation Network. This is The Psychic and the Doc. I'm Mark Anthony, JD, Psychic Explorer. Obviously, I'm the Psychic. And I got my amazing co-host, Dr. Pat Baccili, world-renowned behavioral psychologist, founder of the Transformation Network, host of the long-running, mega award-winning The Dr. Pat Show. She's here with me. This is a call-in show tonight, a 1-800-930-2819. We have a fantastic guest who I am going to introduce, Suzanne Ross. And Suzanne's a good friend of the show. We've had her on before, and one of the reasons this is such a special call-in show, 1-800-930-2819, is because you're going to get me, Dr. Pat, and Suzanne. Suzanne has dedicated her life to the ascension of humanity. Her media appearances and events are just amazing. She's the author of the Up trilogy, which is 3 books, Wake Up, Rise Up, and Lighten Up. Suzanne is a speaker who appears nationwide at all types of spiritual and uplifting venues. And she is the executive producer of Sci-Spy TV, host of the annual Sedona Ascension Retreat and the upcoming San Diego Transcendence Retreat, which is next week, September 27 and 28 in San Diego. And to find out about tickets, because they are going fast and there's some space available, plus we got an amazing dinner cruise on Saturday night, go to San Diego Transcendence Retreat.com, San Diego Transcendence Retreat.com. And Suzanne guides celebrity tours and spiritual journeys into the red rock vortexes of Sedona. I mean, you got to do this with her. She's really cool. She offers intuitive readings, energy healings, and she appears on many TV shows, including Gaia TV and radio shows like Coast to Coast AM with our good friend and colleague, George Norrie. And of course, she's also been on the Dr. Pat Show. And I could just basically talk about Suzanne for the rest of the hour, but how about we welcome Suzanne Ross to the Psychic and the Doc.
Hey, Mark, how you doing? Nice to see you, Dr. Pat. Thanks so much for having me back. I'm so excited to dive into some fascinating conversations and invite your audience to our retreat in San Diego.
Yeah, you know, Suzanne, I've been honored to be a presenter at the Sedona Ascension Retreat for the past couple years that you have hosted, and that's been immensely successful. I mean, it's like standing room only. But now you're broadening and going into other venues. Why San Diego?
Well, my husband and I moved here in January onto this beautiful family horse ranch. And I'm just so excited to be back in San Diego because I really grew up here. I went to San Diego State. I graduated from Mission Viejo High School and then went on to San Diego State University and spent many years here in San Diego. And my husband is a native San Diegan. So San Diego is near and dear to our hearts. And so once I moved here, I thought, you know what? I'll do my second event a year here in San Diego. I've been doing 2 events a year in Sedona for the last 10 years, spring equinox at the Sedona Performing Arts Center, and then the fall equinox at the Global Center for Christ Consciousness. So instead of doing my fall event in Sedona, now that we're here in San Diego, I'm doing it here. And Mark, I have to tell you, we found the most gorgeous resort to
Wow.
have our retreat at, the Bahia Resort, which is like a tropical oasis right
Oh,
on the
wow.
beach of the bay. So I'm very much looking forward to having it at that venue.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I'm really looking forward
Yeah.
to being there. And we got to get
What's the
Dr.
date,
Pat.
Mark? What's the
Yeah,
date? Give us the dates it is,
yeah,
because
September
we got to
20,
know what's happening.
yeah, September 27th and 28th.
Nice.
And I love the subtitle is Bliss on the Bay. And I've grown up,
Love it.
I've lived on the ocean my whole life. Dr. Pat, I know you're near the ocean in Seattle.
Yeah,
And
boy.
Suzanne, now you're on the ocean. Isn't there something so calming about the ocean?
You know what? Here's what I want to ask Suzanne, because I went to school in California and I had not really spent a lot of time in California, except in San Francisco. But I went to school at Claremont, which is east of LA, and I got to hang out a little bit there in San Diego, and it was so different for me. And the relationship that I make to it is kind of like Seattle, except what? One, you can't swim in the water here because what? Not without a sweatsuit unless you want to freeze to death here. Two, the water is beautiful. It's just beautiful. There's something. But here's what I love about what you said about the water. And Suzanne, I now I know why you're doing it there. There is a spiritual component and an energy, and every time I say this, I'm going to get 100 emails from my peeps from the Bronx, New York, who remind me, girlfriend, you grew up on the water. The Bronx is on the water. Yes, it is. And it's a different energy. But you picked a place so that there could be a multiplier of spirituality there, didn't you?
Mm. Well, thank you for that. I'm really pleased that we get to do it on the water in San Diego. And I was insistent that whatever venue we got, it was going to be on the water because we do want to tap in to the infinity of the water, looking out on that horizon. It looks like you're looking out into infinity and just the gentle flowing waves coming in, right? It feels like the water is breathing and the cleansing effect of water, but definitely it's very calming and soothing. And thank you for mentioning that San Diego on the beach here tends to have a spiritual feel.
Yeah.
San Diego has never really lost its beach town vibe.
Right.
Came here, showing my age, but I graduated from high school in 1982. And back in the early 80s, when I started San Diego State, it was a small beach town. I mean, clearly it's grown quite a bit and there's a bigger downtown, but it's still downtown light.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was down there in 94 when I went to Claremont, right? And so I was still kind of like, what's the right word here, guys? It was still like that place that had that energy around it. But you see, isn't this what you all are infusing in this upcoming event? Because this event is going to really be that featurette event that really taps into the multidimensional nature of what we really need right now to heal the planet, right? You guys?
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And having lived on the ocean my whole life, my mother, who was a very gifted psychic medium, was drawn to the ocean. And there's something about the salt water is an electrically charged particle. And so that's why being by the water is an amplifier. Suzanne's done a lot in Sedona. And when you look at the mountains in Sedona, you could tell at one time that was the bottom of the ocean. You can see the way that the mountains look. So Sedona is an energetic vortex because of the electromagnetic
Yeah.
fields that are there. And so is the ocean. And so is
Mm.
the ocean. I mean, seawater or water in general is a hyperconductor of electromagnetic energy. And, so you combine this, like amazing energy, but also with the tranquility of the ocean.
Yeah, yeah. We have an amazing co-host that her area of expertise is salt. When you hear her talk about salt, it is very clear why you picked this event to have there and at this time of the year. But I hope, are you guys going to tell us more about the event?
We are. I think we're coming up on a break. So, for everybody, stay tuned. And remember, this is a call in show. I'll be doing readings, and you're going to get a double shot of wisdom from Dr. Pat and the amazing Suzanne Ross. Call in at 1 800 930 2819. How about we go to a short break? We'll come back, and then call lines are open. Welcome back to The Psychic and the Doc. We have a special guest, Suzanne Ross, and she's the host of the San Diego Transcendence Retreat, which is September 27th and 28th. That's a week from this weekend, and there are still tickets available. This is an amazing event. Suzanne's going to tell us about some of the speakers and some of the events. You go to San Diego Transcendence Retreat.com. And of course, I'm here with the incomparable Dr. Pat Baccili, and her website is unstuckable.com. And Dr. Pat has been working with people from all walks of life for years, and she does a lot of work with women and helping people that are wounded, because
Yeah.
wounded people wound other people. And Dr. Pat helps heal those wounds. And that's why we do this show, The Psychic and the Doc. This is our ministry. And we're particularly fortunate in this episode to have Suzanne Ross with us, because Suzanne is also a healer. She's a healer that helps people arrive at their solutions by thinking outside of the box. The theme of tonight's show is turning failure into success. And Dr. Pat, what does that mean for you? And then Suzanne, you're going to get the same question.
You know, I have fell on my face more times. I mean, takes a lot to get it to look like this today. But you you know enough about my background to understand when I do my talk and I open my talk up, if I'm doing a keynote or something, and I open my talk up and I said, imagine this now. Imagine being born into the world. Your mother's an alcoholic and a drug addict. You know, you come into the world. She is not supposed to be having you, but you come into the world anyway and you pop out. And then you find out there's something a little different. Now the term is neurodivergent, autistic, whatever you want to call it. But then it turns out to be a gift. Well, wait a minute. Then mom commits suicide. Now what? Dad marries the girl that he was cheating on with mom. We go through life. And here I learned from my stepmom how to become human and brush my teeth until I end up homeless at 17. Because what? A little crazy, got kicked out. And so, what do you do with a life like that? Well, it's like a friend said to me, you got chicken, you know what? You got to turn it into chicken salad. So, everybody goes through something, every one of us. That's not the question. The question is, how are you going to go through it? The journey is going to be more important than your end game, because you cannot control your end game, but you can control how you show up every day in life and how you're in service. And Mark, you've said it a million times. You and I are not doing this show because we think this show is going to do blah, blah, blah. We decided to do this show because people, right? And
Yes.
Suzanne, I mean, you're out there in a world only in a way that I hope to be soon, and get out from behind building a network and really be able to help people in person. See, I miss that. But that's why the three of us are here, right?
Right. Suzanne, what does turning failure into success mean to you?
You know what came up for me was what appeared to be success on the outside was actually me being a failure. because I wasn't aligned with my true calling and mission. And I was miserable in the corporate world. But everyone else thought I was living the American dream. But for me, it was the American nightmare. I was so unfulfilled, so unhappy, having anxiety attacks. My hair was falling out and my skin was falling off with eczema. And it wasn't until I got aligned with my spiritual path, turned toward the field of wellness, that I actually started experiencing success. Now,
Mm.
it took a while to build my business up, of course, but immediately I was happier than I'd ever been. So to me, that's what really defines
Mm.
success.
I got a
Yeah.
question for you. Sorry, Mark, I
No, no, go
apologize.
right ahead. Go
I
right
have a
ahead, Dr.
question.
Pat.
What was your tipping point? I got to meet Jean Houston when I first started doing the show in 2000, and I don't remember what year, three, four. And I got schooled by Jean. I love Jean, but she asked me a question about tipping point, and honestly, I said to her, "Well, I think you mean tipping the glass because I did that most of my life." But I want to ask you, did you have a moment? Did you have a moment somewhere along the line where you said something to yourself or heard something that caused you to think differently or take a different action?
Yes. So after my third or fourth anxiety attack and being rushed to the hospital and suggested, meds were being prescribed, I went to visit my parents in their vacation home of the desert of Southern California. And while I was there, I just woke up one day with this overwhelming sense of dread, like there was some kind of impending doom. And I felt called to run to this mountain behind their home in the desert. I just ran toward that mountain with tears streaming down my face. I ran to the top without even noticing the burning in my lungs or the pain in my legs. And when I got to the top, I just threw my arms up to the sky and said, I am miserable in the extreme and I see no way out. And in that moment, I literally felt like the air around me was hugging me. There was a brilliant white light all around me, and a voice came out of the light. And it said, Can't you see you've come home? You'll stay here
Wow.
and heal yourself and many others.
Wow.
And that was the turning point.
That's incredible and that's amazing. And
Exactly.
and the reason that Dr. Pat, Suzanne, and I are telling I'm speaking to the audience directly, is that these experiences are not unique to us. Everybody can have these experiences. The divine, the white light, God, whatever label you want to put on the infinite intelligence, communicates with all of us. The question is, are we open to receiving the message and are we blocking it? And you can see Suzanne got to a point where she was guided to be in that place. She received the message. Dr. Pat basically got kicked and beaten and just thrown through uh, the shredder of life, but it didn't destroy who she was. It got her to the point where she said, wait, there's more. And now I've got the practical experiences and the skill set. I mean, Dr. Pat went from being homeless to having a PhD. That isn't luck. That is turning failure into success. And the only person that made that happen was Dr. Pat. Okay. And it's the same thing with you, Suzanne. You were in the corporate world, and
Both of us.
yeah, okay, all three. I could relate. I mean, here I was, senior partner of a law firm, and all the trappings of success, and it just wasn't doing it for me, not spiritually. And then it's a long story, but I had that aha moment too. And the thing is, everybody is capable of having these aha moments, these awakenings. And Suzanne, you're a Buddhist, and Buddha. What did Buddha teach people? To become awakened. And what does that mean to you? And I know we got a caller on the line, so if Suzanne, if you can answer that, then I think we should go
Yeah,
to the caller.
yeah.
In
I would love to hear the answer to that question, please.
Michael Douglas.
right.
Oh, Rocky, I think you got to mute yourself, but Michael Douglas, I like that too. Um, well, I love Michael Douglas. I loved his dad too. But let's talk about what that is because many of the people in the pop culture became awake and aware when the movie came out on Tina Turner. Remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
Angela Bassett played in that movie. And you go through agonizing, but then you get to the end. And right to the very end of Tina Turner's life, you got to experience what Buddhism meant to her. What did it mean to you?
You know, Buddhism really put me on my path of spirituality. The literature that I read had such incredibly beautiful, prolific words about loving kindness, about compassion, about service. And with the underlying premise was that consciousness is beginningless and endless. So it introduced this concept of infinity. And suddenly it just felt like my world was so vast. Possibilities were endless, right? And I was here for a deeper meaning and greater purpose that had everything to do with serving the light of love. And to me, that's what
Wow.
enlightenment means.
I love that you shared that. And we do have a caller, and maybe we'll take a really short break and then go up to the top. But that led you on this path. Now, we need to mention the people that are going to be at this event, if you don't mind, because it is through that energy and those teachings and that learning that we create the ripple effect. You know, it hasn't always been easy for me to heal from early childhood wounds of being abused and beaten as a 6-year-old in Catholic boarding school. But I've arrived, and now I'm studying the Bhagavad Gita and Sanskrit, and I'm learning. And, I was born in the projects, but tell us about this event because you see, when people come together like this, you cannot describe the impact of the energy that builds. So, would you two, before we go to break and before we go to the caller, can you please tell us more about the event?
Thank you, Dr. Pat. I would be delighted to. It is my calling to bring people together where they can connect heart to heart, where they can stand hand in hand while we guide meditations, we say prayers. Of course, there's phenomenal presenters who offer wisdom, who provide practical tools and techniques for living your best life. The combination of all of it is really intended to be life-changing in many powerful and positive ways. But I do have to say, Dr. Pat, that the main thing is the gathering of souls, the gathering of like-minded, heart-centered souls.
Oh, it absolutely. And having been a presenter there, I have made such wonderful friends with the other presenters and with a number of the attendees. And it's because of that. It's like-mindedness. And that doesn't mean we're all the same. We all come from very divergent backgrounds, very different people, but there's a vibe there and everybody tunes in and everybody's there because they want to literally turn failure into success. They want to explore their spirituality. They want to simply feel better. And that's what transcendence is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's transcending, it's elevating, it's evolving, it's developing your spirituality and your consciousness. And everyone, it's also a heck of a lot of fun.
No kidding.
And
Yeah.
this is not, we're all not sitting there like, oh, Shonda all day. I mean, there may be a little bit of that, but this is fun. I mean, you're going to laugh, you're going to learn. I mean, the cruise on Saturday night, the dinner cruise out on the bay at
Whoa.
sunset in San
Wow.
Diego. I mean, heck, that's worth the price of admission right there, but that's only one of the pluses. So everybody can find out about this by visiting the website San Diego Transcendence Retreat.com. You can also go to my website, afterlifefrequency.com, and I'll let you in on a little snippet here. If you go to my website and click on the San Diego Transcendence Retreat, there is a discount that you
Wow.
get, but you got to go to my website to get it, or you could go to Suzanne's. But
Yeah.
the
And
thing is, you're going to end up at the same place and get all the same great spirituality.
this
So,
is at a resort too. I mean, this is like when with Suzanne, you know, when you said it's on the water. Okay, we're not talking a sailboat here or a little punk, you know, we're not talking a rowboat. This is a beautiful water setting. I mean, if you go to the website, everybody, San Diego Transcendence Retreat.com, you'll be able to see all this. Take a look at the people that are going to present, what the events are, workshops, right? Let me not call them play shops. There are so many different things here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a really short break. Sierra, when we come back, we're going to go right to the phones and then we're really going to have some fun. Let's take a short break, everybody. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. You are listening to The Psychic and the Doc. And as we promised, we have got a great experience lined up for you right now. For those of you that are wondering, is this still a live call-in show? 1-800-930-2819. But right now, we're going to go to Connecticut, aren't we, Sierra?
Oh, yeah, we have Danette from Connecticut. You are live, Danette.
Hey, Danette, how are you
Hi.
tonight? Hey.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, stressed out. I'm very
You
stressed
know,
out today. Well, for a while. They've been trying to renovate my apartment, all the apartments over here, and I have to pack on my own, and my son's supposed to help me out and stuff. And it's so much, I can't even lift boxes. It's so bad.
I know. You know what we remember in the 12-step program is my 35 years of sobriety. Sometimes we say one day at a time, but when you're moving and you have to do that there, it is like 1 minute at a
Oh,
time.
I'm not
Just remember to
moving.
breathe.
I'm not moving. I just have to pack everything because they're painting
Exactly.
and they're renovating everything.
It's the same idea. It is daunting, but
I
we're going to give you
know,
some
I
help
know.
tonight. So, how can we
Yeah.
help you tonight?
Okay, my whole entire family is gone, and I've been having dreams about my sister Carol. And every time I go to the bathroom, there's a piece of hair that goes into a sea. I want to know.
oh, that's really, first off, please accept our deepest sympathies
Yeah.
on the passing of your family. Secondly, I
Thank
look at
you.
things differently. I got all excited when you said that because that is what I refer to as a frequency beacon. And a frequency beacon is where a spirit can direct your attention to a particular thing. Could be an animal, could be, like certain birds or certain insects or certain numbers. Like you'll look at a clock and it always says something, or a piece of hair in the shape of the letter
Mm-hmm.
C for your sister Carol in spirit. And Carol
Right, because when
has
she
a
died,
great, hold on, she's coming through. And
okay,
Carol has
okay,
a hilarious sense of humor. Okay. She's
yes, she
coming
does.
through and she's giggling and she said, I knew you'd get this. I knew you'd get this. And she's also saying that there's this whole thing about hair. What are you doing with your hair? She said you're using this conditioner. She goes, you're using the wrong conditioner. I know that sounds weird, but this is what she's giving me. What is going on
I
with
do
what
it
you're?
Pantene. I do the Pantene shampoo and conditioner. She used to be a beautician, but she used
Oh,
to
so
cut
she
my
says
hair.
you're using the wrong one. So I'll let you consult with a hairstylist for. So if you're using a shampoo
Yeah.
conditioner combo, okay, that's what she's saying. She wants
Mhm.
you to use a shampoo. Okay,
Yeah.
shampoo, rinse, and then condition. She's also talking about you and
Uh-huh.
vitamin B, and she's the reason that she's bringing up vitamin B. She's saying that you're undergoing a tremendous amount of neurological stress, and she's showing like hands
Yes.
shaking. Are you getting any type of tremors?
No,
You
I
see
just
it?
get nervous at
That's it.
times when I have to.
Okay.
Well, they did a new door, and they took my screen door off, and that was my security to get onto my step and back and forth. I'm trying to get a railing for my apartment for the door
Right. Let's
for
back
the
up a bit.
steps,
Let's
but
back.
I have to get a doctor.
Right. Okay. You need to get the security squared away. Let's get back to the vitamin B.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to
Uh huh.
consult with your healthcare provider, nutritionist. Okay, because none of us, Dr. Pat, myself, or Suzanne, we're not medical doctors. However, many times
Right.
spirits transmit to me information of a medical nature. And there's something about vitamin
Mm-hmm.
B. Vitamin B, B1, 6, and 12 can help stop tremors. Once again, you got to clear that with your
Uh
doctor.
huh.
But there's a lot of vitamin Bs,
Yeah. I look.
and hold on, Danette. And your
Mhm.
body goes through vitamin B like wildfire when you're under a tremendous amount of emotional stress. Okay. She's also
Right.
talking
Mhm.
about your teeth and the way you grind your teeth when you're sleeping. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm getting this like lockjaw. So,
Yeah.
do you have a night guard, a
Well, I
bite
have
guard?
to get some teeth on top. I lost my teeth because of my medicine, my asthma medicine. I
Okay.
have to get implants soon.
Okay, okay, so that's why she's bringing my attention to teeth. Also, when you go to the dentist, you may want to talk to him or her about getting you fitted up for a bite guard that you wear at night so that you
Right.
don't do any additional damage to your teeth. But Carol wants you to know, she said, message received loud and clear. Now she's going, choo choo, choo choo. All right, what's with the train? She's doing this like you're going on a train and pulling the cord and going choo choo. All right, there's got to be something about a train. Travel by train. Maybe you guys
uh,
put trains around the Christmas tree, whatever. But she's showing the choo choo train.
yeah. Has she said anything about? Well, her son was very sick last year, and I swear, I know she was in in my room, and I heard her say, "Thank you for taking care of my son." So he's my godson slash nephew.
Okay, I want to go back to the train. What's with the train?
I don't know. We've gone near the train, you know,
What do you mean by you going near the train?
like when the train. Oh, when it was
There we
like
go.
my aunt's funeral, and the train passed by, and we were just counting the cars that went. Probably that's what she means. That
There you go. So see, they bring up these type of things so that you will make those connections. Is her son still here in
right.
this world?
Yes, his son's down the road from me. Right now he's
Okay.
working.
Okay. Um, what's going on with his knees? His knees, Knees. I spell things out so people understand. Don't mistake.
No, I don't know about his knees, but I know he had pancreatitis.
Yeah, but there's something about his knees, and that it could be something
I
going
don't
on with
know.
his legs as well. Unless, are you having any issues with your knees?
I have a problem with my knees and my
Okay, so
back.
it's
I
you.
have a back
All right.
disability and my
Okay.
knees.
Okay, so what it is, when she is letting you know that she's grateful that you took care of her son, she immediately went to knees. And that's what I call a verifiable fact following a message. When a spirit gives us a message of an explanatory advisory nature, in other words, she's really happy that were taking care of her son and also that you made the connection with the trains. But then she followed that up with
Mhm.
knees, and you're having issues with your knees. So the verifiable
Right.
fact of a knee issue is how the spirit, in this case, Carol, is letting you and I know that we've properly received and interpreted the message before that. And here's the thing, Danette. You've got
Mhm.
the choo-choo train. You've got a long
Uh-huh.
journey ahead of you, okay? And she wants you
Uh-huh.
to enjoy the ride. So you're not leaving the material world
Uh-huh.
anytime soon, and that's a good thing. All
Uh-huh.
right, Dr. Pat, what's your take?
Well, I know we've got another
What
caller,
about
but
my
I want to kick
dad?
it over to Suzanne if we could.
Mhm.
Suzanne, we'd love to get your input on this.
Well, it's just so fascinating, Mark, how you pick up on so many things to do with
Yeah.
is it her sister, Carol?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and what I was picking up on is that there's just such a powerful heart to heart connection between the two of you. I feel like she was really there to support you during your life.
She was
And
my partner in crime.
mm, oh, I like that. It sounds like you two had a lot of fun together and we're really there to
Oh
inspire
yeah.
each
When
other.
we went to meet. Yep. Definitely. When she had to go someplace, I was there, and when I had to go someplace, she was there. And when went to my granddaughter's christening, my second oldest granddaughter, Liliana, her christening, and we went together. And I did some funny, we were singing and everything, and we were stuck in traffic, so I do the something funny and just start laughing about it.
Do you ever find yourself just breaking out in laughter spontaneously and not really knowing
Mhm.
why? Because she's whispering
Yeah.
to you, some of these jokes that you had between you and just some of these fun
Uh
times
huh.
that you shared that, you guys had a lot of humor and you had a lot of joy
Mhm.
when you were together. And so when you feel that burst of joy or suddenly you break out in laughter, it's just her nudging you
Mhm.
to say, we were together and close during our lifetime on
Yes.
earth. We'll always be together and close, even though I'm on the other side.
Awesome.
What
Thank
about
you
my dad?
so
My dad's
much. Thank
birthday is
you.
the end of this
Thank you,
month.
Danette. Thanks.
Dana, thank you so much for calling in. I mean, there's so much more. Probably if we had 5 hour show, we would get to it. But thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. Wow, we've got a couple of people waiting. Sierra, why don't we go to Nicole?
Oh, yeah, we got Nicole from New Jersey.
That's what
Nicole.
yeah, Nicole. Hey, Nicole, how are you?
I'm good, good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, where are you from in Jersey?
I'm from actually right now I'm in Ocean County, so I'm on the coast, which is really cool.
Ooh, I know one Jersey girl to the other. I'm going to turn you over to Mark. Mark's going to really connect. And so while he's connecting with you, just give him a minute and he will come right back to you and ask you the questions, but just let him go through the process of getting you connected, okay? Mark?
Yeah. Hey,
That would be
Nicole.
great. Thank you.
Uh, um,
Thanks,
I'm
Mark.
yeah, no problem. I'm picking up on a male energy connected to you, and he could be on your generational level, like a sibling, cousin, spouse, friend, or on the one just above it. And this guy, he's guy's guy. The way I see him depicted, he's wearing like a flannel plaid type shirt. Now, whether or not he wore that type of shirt, that indicates he's holding up screwdrivers, hammers. He reminds me of my dad, like Mr. Fix It. Okay, so this guy was really
Hmm.
great with tools, and with his passing, I'm getting this sharp pain in my head, and it seemed like there was some issue going on inside of his skull, inside of his brain. It feels like a possibly a malignancy that was growing. So he had this very virile, very guy's guy kind of a dude, and then all of a sudden this sharp pain in the head. Now, sometimes, Nicole, an impact sensation to the head can indicate it could be a problem inside the skull, but it could also be a trauma or could mean an abrupt or unexpected passing. Does any of this make sense to you?
Yeah, Mark, I read your book Afterlife Frequency, and that's what led me to find you on this website. And I lost my husband, I guess it's 7 weeks ago today, and he
Oh,
had glioma, a brain tumor,
Oh,
and he was my everything. And
yeah.
and
So
I'm really trying to do what you're saying in the book and try to be very like open and calm. And I
well,
can't believe you just said everything you just.
Well, that's because first off, when you said he was my everything, yes, in the material world he was, but he still is your everything because your relationship with him has transformed from one of a physical to one of a spiritual nature, and he came through like
Yeah.
gangbusters because he said, "You're my gal." And I can feel him, his arms reaching out and just embracing you. And he's the type of person that when he would hug you, you know, some people are like weird about hugging. They're like, they give you those hugs. No, not this guy. When he hugged you, it was an entire body sensation. It was a mental, emotional, spiritual, physical embracing. And he said, I'm sorry that I had to leave. He said, if I had a vote, I wouldn't have had this problem. He said, but that's just the
Yeah.
way it goes. He said, but don't think I
Yeah.
abandoned you because what you feel for me in your heart, he goes, baby, that rocks. Now, that was an interesting way you put it. Baby, that rocks. Does any of that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, he was so fun, and he had such a wit and witty sense of humor, and he could say something just like that, like, and he would try to be uplifting, even in, he was sick for a year and a half almost.
Mm.
Well, I
With
realize people in New Jersey love Bruce Springsteen, but he keeps showing me images of Bruce Springsteen. Does that resonate with you in any way?
he loved music. Um, I mean, he spent all his time, with his free time listening to music, and Bruce was certainly one of the ones on our playlist for sure.
There you go. So that's the verifiable fact following message. Okay, Suzanne, what do you have? What do you have for?
So, what came through for me is this is your time to blossom. Allow yourself to grieve, of course, but with the knowing that his presence will always be with you. Right now, he's trying to inspire and empower you and say, this is your time to shine. This is your time to really blossom. Find what it is that brings you the most joy and the most excitement. Think about waking up in the morning and thinking, what would I most like to do today? Give yourself permission to go ahead and do that now. This is your time to take care of yourself and know that he'll always be by your side. But I am getting this is what he wants for you now.
Oh,
Beautiful, beautiful.
thank you
So,
for
Yeah.
saying that.
yeah,
I
check back with us in a couple months. And the reason I say a couple months is because at that time, he'll be ready to give you messages that are going to apply to where you are in your grief then. And spirit communication is a very important healing step in the journey through grief. And on behalf of everyone here, myself, Suzanne,
Hmm.
Dr. Pat, the whole Transformation Network team, please accept our deepest sympathies for the passing of your beloved husband. I can tell he was a great guy. He's the kind of guy I'd like to sit down and I don't drink, so I'd have a glass of tea, he'd probably have a beer, but I think he and I would just have hit it off really good. He seemed like a really, really nice guy.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you
I
so
think so
much. And
too. He was
eh,
really smart,
eh,
just like you guys.
you know what? You're in a great place there on that Jersey Shore. You know what I mean? It's really such an incredible place. Did you hear me joking a little bit about being from New Jersey,
Yeah,
and then the Bronx? Yeah, because that
yeah.
water is also quite healing. You know what I mean? It's also quite
Hmm.
healing, and so I
It is.
hope that you can take the moments out like Mark just indicated for yourself.
Thank you. I would love to check back in with you guys, and I appreciate that very much. You've helped me tremendously, just with your
Mm.
books and then finding you on the podcast. Just finding a way that there's a different way to communicate, and if we can try
Yes.
to tap into that, which I'm really trying hard to do,
Don't
has
try
helped me
too hard.
tremendously.
Nicole, don't try too
Okay.
No,
hard.
it can't.
Maybe
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
explained that deeper into the afterlife frequency because when you try too hard without
Yeah.
meaning to, you create a block. I call
Yeah.
it passive
Yeah.
assertive, not passive aggressive, passive assertive. you've got to put out there, I
Yeah.
welcome the contact, but don't try too hard because you don't want to inadvertently create a block. But I have it on
Yeah.
good advice from him. You're going to get it. You're going to get it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling in. Karen, I don't think we have time to really take you at the moment. We only have like 4 minutes left. But if you call in next week, we'll make sure we get you in the front of the queue. Thank you. Karen from Michigan is waiting on the phone lines. Please don't forget, call in early. Linda will pick you up. We'll get you in the queue. What a great show, Mark. I think, before we go, I'd love, Suzanne, for you to give us your personal message. What do you want to wrap us up with here and bring us home?
That last message that felt to me like it was coming through for our last guest from her husband on the other side, it's really meant for everyone. And I just got goosebumps all over. That's truth bumps for me. That it's really all of our time to shine. And each and every day we should wake up and think, what's my greatest joy? What's my highest excitement? What is it that I really want to go out there and do? Whether it's recreational and just for fun, or whether it's something you think will really make a positive difference in your life and in the life of others. Give yourself permission to shine.
Wow.
Thank you. And Mark, please give us an update again to remind people about the event. And thank you for that reminder, right? Shine
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be one of the presenters at the San Diego Transcendence Retreat, and Suzanne, of course, is hosting it. If you go to my website, which is afterlifefrequency.com, and if you just go to the calendar of events, you're going to see the posters for the San Diego Transcendence Retreat. Please click on that, and I'm going to be conducting 2 light circles. And a light circle is limited to 6 participants. Everybody receives a reading. And you go to my website and click on the San Diego Transcendence Retreat poster. It'll show you how to get the tickets. And what you do is you email Suzanne at info@SuzanneRossRetreats.com. But once you go to my website and click on that, you'll see that the tickets on these are going fast. Light circles are a synergistic effect where not just everybody gets a reading, but you get the benefit of the concentrated power, healing power of spiritual communication. I conduct these throughout the country and online, and I will be doing them at the San Diego Transcendence Retreat. I look forward to seeing a lot of you there. I can't wait to see Suzanne and our whole crew in person. And of course, it's always an honor, one of the great honors of my life, to work with Dr. Pat Baccili. Thank you, everyone. God bless you, and have a peaceful week.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into The Psychic in the Doc with Mark Anthony and me, Dr. Pat Baccili, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Hey, look, come back next week so we can explore with you more of life's many challenges and learn from fascinating guests. And you know what? Even Mark and me. We'll connect you and discover insights from people in this life and from the afterlife. Extraordinary problems? Yeah, they do. They require extraordinary solutions. But step into the world of possibilities with us on The Psychic and the Doc. That's every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on TransformationTalkRadio.com. That's TransformationTalkRadio.com. And don't forget, we're also live face-to-face on Facebook.com, Transformation Talk Radio.